Hello and welcome. Hope you are well and you've had a wonderful week. My name's Marie and this is my yarn journey. This week's been quite a quiet week knitting wise, but busy week work and life wise. So there's been quite a few birthdays, and my son turned 17. And it was my niece's birthday, it was Mona's birthday, so I've been quite busy with plans. And then I had quite a few clients this week, so I haven't got masses of knitting done, but I'm going to show you what I've done. But first of all, I will talk to you about the sweater that I'm wearing, which is the Jessie Made Designs Cozy Classic Raglan, and it's a DK weight pattern. For this I've held together a drops alpaca and a Mommy and Flurry, I can't get my words out today, hand dyed suri, which was like a pale rainbow effect yarn. I'll just show you how it's come out on the, I think it's turned into a beautiful fabric. I hope you can see. I do want to use this drops yarn again because it's lovely and soft. The only problem with this garment I find is that it does pull up a bit on my neck here, if you can see. It's a little bit tight and I get a slight prickle just where it's touching me there, but other than that it's lovely to wear. It's made a cozy fabric, really soft, really good for the weather we're getting in the UK right now. I do, like I say, I do want to use the drops again, the alpaca, because it's lovely and soft. But when I blocked this, it grew massively, because as you can see, I'm having to fold my cuffs down because the sleeve just went so long. It was unbelievable. And I think next time, because also I'm trying to get away from using the fluff, because I find quite a few of those do irritate me a little bit. I'm thinking I might use a strand of the alpaca, which is a 4-ply, the drops one, and then I want to use something else with it, possibly a wool, which would add a bit more structure. Maybe the wool in it had quite a good structure to it, but well, something like that anyway. So if you've got any suggestions, put that in the comments, but that won't be something for quite some time yet. You know, I've got quite a lot of stash to be getting through. So there's been two main projects that I've been knitting on this week. And the first one I'm going to show you is the one that you saw last week. So I'm going to do the magic finger clicking and turn it all into black and white, because this is a gift knit and it's a Musselburgh hat. And I am using a yarn that I got in a wool swap. And it's something Eden Fibre, or I really can't remember the name. I've searched high and low for the tag before I came on today and I can't. It's a standard sock yarn, but it is lovely and soft and it's knitting up fantastically. I don't know if you can tell in black and white, but the consistency of this yarn knitting up in this hat, it's beautiful. It's gonna look lovely. I'm so pleased with how it's turning out. I'm knitting mine on is it 3mm? Just let me check. Yep, 3mm needles. Getting a lovely fabric, and I think I had a 8-stitch gauge for this. But yeah, I'm not far off finishing, and I will just grab my scales because I'll show you. This is what I've got left on it, so there's not much. It can fit in, almost fit inside my palm. I am hoping to start the decreases when I get to around 20 or 15 grams, and that'll leave me enough to put some in my Incredibles blanket. So I'll just get my scales. One second. So I will just weigh this ball just to see where I'm up to. This one is a great one for knitting on while I'm editing the videos, so, and while I'm watching TV, I don't even have to really look at it. And it's a pleasure to knit on because the yarn's so beautiful. Okay, I've got just over 28 grams left on my ball, so I'm getting very, very close. So hopefully this will be finished at the weekend. And if I do finish it, I will be casting on my next one. Now, plans have changed, as they do with me, from last weekend. And since the last podcast, should I say. I'm now decided that I did mention that I was going to think about doing 6 Musselburghs before Christmas, but it was just a bit too ambitious, and I'm thinking it through. I've got some other gift alternatives that I think are going to be better for 3 of the people. So this is the first one that I'm knitting of my gifts. I need to do 3 now, and one is I need to do 3, that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to give the game away. And this is in my tea cake and make bag. I absolutely love this bag. It's perfect for small projects. Dead lightweight, easy to use. So what I will do at the weekend, hopefully I'll get that one finished, and then I will straight away cast on the next one. And that way I'm on my way. When I get to halfway through that one, I'm halfway to having the gift knits done. I know I have left it quite late, and I think next year, if I do want to do gifts for Christmas, I think it's either going to be, Mona suggested maybe doing 1 a month or something like that, or I might actually do Christmas in July. I don't know if people would fancy following along with that maybe next year. Okay, the next project that I want to talk about is my main whip at the moment, and it's a new cast on, and it's a pair of socks from this book, The Sock Project by Summer Lee. And if you watch my sock videos, you will have seen that I have knit the first pair of basic socks from this book. There is 5 basic patterns to learn for socks, and I'm doing basic sock number 2, which is the afterthought heel. I've done 72 stitches. Now, I've had a problem with a few of my recent pairs of socks because they've been at first let me backtrack. When I first ever started knitting socks, I was doing a 64 stitch, and I was doing the 2.25, which was recommended, and they were all turning out way too tight no matter what I tried with adjusting things. So when I got this book, I decided I was going to, she's an expert at socks, I'm going to take her guidance, I'm going to listen to what she said. Now, when I measured my foot circumference, she recommended that I do the 72 stitch sock, so that's what I went with. I've still had a few fit issues, and I've also, along while I've had this sock journey, I've also been discovering that my tension is quite tight. So, and obviously even more tighter for colour work when I've been trying to do colour work socks. So I've been trying out different needle sizes as well. So my last pair of socks I did, because I'm finding a lot of patterns to meet gauge, I have to actually go up 0.5mm in needle size. And that generally, with a lot of patterns, gets me gauge. So for my last pair of socks, I actually went up the 0.5mm for the colour work and for the main section of the sock. And for the main section of the sock, I use a 2.75mm. The sock did turn out a little bit loose. So I decided, and you know, your gauge can change over time, can't it? And as you get more practiced. And I'm doing my socks on 9-inch circulars because I get a better finished product. So I decided that I would, for this sock, do it on a 2.5, but do the 72 stitches and see how that worked out for me. I haven't tried it on yet, but because this sock is generally knit in a tube, it wasn't beneficial for me to do that, although I have obviously followed all the instructions for the basic sock number 2, which is the afterthought heel in the book. Her instructions are really thorough, so if you've not done socks, I'd highly recommend getting this book, because she goes through everything in detail, and it's peppered with her humour as well, if you've watched her channel, because she is quite funny. So the yarn I'm using, which I don't think I've shown you yet, is this beautiful one that I got from Mona for my birthday. That is an opal yarn, and it's absolutely lovely to knit with. It's not like when you touch it you feel it's super soft. It's soft in a really comforting way, and it's lovely to knit with, it really is. And the pattern that's coming out on it's fantastic. This is the one it is. Hope you can see that. And I'll show you how it's knitting up. Now, I thought I'd have the first sock finished for you for today, to show you what I mean, but it's not, unfortunately. So I can't tell you about the fit or anything at this point. But, oh, not sure what I dropped there. Here is the sock, and look how lovely the pattern's coming out. Really, really pleased with that. I found a mini for the toe and for the heel in my stash, and it's one that I got from the Woolly Good Gathering, and here we are. I'm just joining in the heel. Now, the only thing I've done that isn't, it's not really a modification from the pattern, because it is actually mentioned in the book. I know with my socks that it ends up tight around the top here. Sorry if you can hear a lot of noise in the background. There is some work going on in our street, so there's quite a lot of drilling sounds, unfortunately. So as I was saying, yeah, the socks are often tight across the top section here for me. So she does say in the pattern, and Mona had suggested to do a few extra rows before starting the decreases for the heel. The heel and the toe are knit exactly the same in a wedge style, so quite easy. And I did do these when I knit the sock tube last time, so I am familiar with this, but I followed the instructions as they were in the book, and then I did 3 rows before starting the heel decreases, so hopefully that will avoid the top being stretched over my foot. But I think these are turning out wonderful, and do you know what, I just can't stop knitting on these at all. Absolutely, I love the yarn, love how it's knitting up so beautifully, and yeah, can't wait to have the finished pair. I just hope, fingers crossed, that this sock fits me. Okay, and the other thing that that's all I've knit on this week. Like I say, I've not had much knitting time, but I have focused on that sock because it's just what I've been enjoying knitting on. And with me knowing that I've not got as many gift knits now to do, I know I've got time to do those. So I wanted to do a little bit of an update on my bingo knitting challenge, because I've not mentioned that, and that's the Giddy Crafting challenge. I started this in January and it's getting very close to the end of the year, so I wanted to do a bit of an update because I haven't talked about it recently. So I'll read out, for the crafting bingo, at the beginning of the year you set 9 goals for your knitting or crafting, and then the idea is that by the end of the year you've achieved all 9. And these are what I put on mine. Finish Dwayne's sweater, knit a pair of slippers, take part in the winter set knit along, knit 6 pairs of socks from stash yarn, use my Alice in Wonderland advent, finish last year's blanket MCAL, monitor my yarn in and out, use as many leftovers as possible, complete or frog all whips from 2023. So out of those I have completed 4 of my 9, but some of them are almost there. So I've finished Dwayne's sweater, I've knit my 6 pairs of socks, I've used my Alice Advent because I used that for the Rocket Tee. I did the winter set knit along. So they're the ones that I've definitely completed in full. Monitoring the yarn in and out, I'm really pleased that I've done that throughout the year, and I continue to do that. I'm using my leftovers in my blanket. Now, complete or frog all whips started in 2023. My mum, bless her soul, has just frogged a couple more things for me, which I'd mentioned in my video with Mona, and that is the, sorry Mona, I still want to say OLE mittens. I can't for the life of me at this moment remember how you told me to pronounce them, so I'm sure that'll give you a giggle. So the mittens have been frogged, and unfortunately my underlace top has been frogged. My mum took them home with her yesterday, and I got a message not long into the evening saying they were done, which I was totally shocked at, because she did have a bit of Mida when she was trying to do the socks, unfortunately. So I need to check really, but that could mean that all the 2023 whips are either done or frogged now, but I haven't looked, so I will do that and let you know next week. So the only one of these that I really think is going to be a challenge, and I might not get it done, and I definitely think actually at this point I will not get it done by the end of the year, and that is to finish last year's blanket MCAL. But I think what I might do is dedicate some time while I'm off over Christmas, because I've got a solid just over 2 weeks off, and that will be a good time to get in at least a good chunk on that. Although, you know, there will be holiday cast-ons, of course. And the last thing that I want to mention is acquisitions. I've got my Patreon yarn from a homespun house, and it's for October. So if you are part of a homespun house's Patreon and you don't want to see the yarn, please fast forward. Don't want to give any spoilers, but I do want to show them because they are beautiful. So I get the minis and the sock set, and I'm going to show them now. So this is Snowed In, Thistle and Be Quiet and Drive. These minis are 10 grams and they're beautifully soft. I love the colours, and I put these into my blanket, Incredibles blanket. They're a 75/25 sock yarn, really lovely and squishy. And I'll get them wound up later today. And then here is the sock set, which I adore. I cannot wait to make some socks with this. This is Autumn at Green Gables. I love the main colour, and I'm not normally a brown person, but I just think how beautiful is it going to look with if I did that in the toe and the heel with that main colour. Stunning. So I'm very, very excited that I've got those today. I have got another acquisition, and it's a really, really good one. But I'm not going to be able to talk to you about it, unfortunately, because when you've got a knitting friend and you get yourself stuff that's similar to what you get your knitting friend for Christmas, you can't really show them on the podcast that they watch every week, can you? And plans going forward. So this weekend I'm hoping, like I said, to get the Musselburgh finished and off the needles and the next one cast on. And hopefully this evening I will manage to get the sock done, off the needles, and the next one cast on, because I really want to make that a finished pair. And if the first sock is not quite right, I will make adjustments when doing my second sock, because like I say, I'm not trying to get matchy with the pairs and all that. What I'm trying to do is work towards, while doing this box of socks and working through the sock project book, is getting the perfect fit socks for me. And other than that, December. I am going to be doing a little bit of Vlogmas throughout December, but I think it's going to be, I don't know how much content I'll be able to provide you with, but I will have my Advent off Mona to open each day. I've got my, which I'll be, any yarn that I get from Mona's calendar that she's kindly gifted me for my birthday, I will be popping into my Incredibles blanket. So I'll be able to knit that up and show you that throughout December. So I think December's going to be a blanket heavy month for me, but that will be very enjoyable. And I've got my Fibre Fox Advent, which I'll be opening each day. And one of my lovely viewers, and her name has gone. Is it Amos? Is her nickname? Maybe. Sorry, I do apologise. But anyway, she is. She put a comment on, because I've mentioned that Laura Penrose last year, when she was opening one of her Advents, to keep them in order and so she could see all the colours together, she put them on a barbacord, which I thought was fantastic. And one of my lovely viewers suggested, rather than buying some barbacord just to do that, why don't you stick it on one of your long cords with the stoppers on? And I thought, well, yeah, I can obviously do that. So that's a great idea. And probably be a little bit more sturdy and secure, to be honest. So I think I'm going to do that. I'll have to find one of my long cords. And then that'll be fun to show you all. And I've also got the Blue Fern 4-week Advent, which I'll be opening each Sunday. And then hopefully I can come up with some good patterns to knit with those in the new year. So I think that's everything for today. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Like I say, sorry there wasn't much knitty content to go through. Oh, 1 minute, I've not mentioned something. I was going to tell you about my ins and outs. Okay, so November's ins and outs quickly before I do finally go. My secret project, which has now been gifted, and I think Mona was very happy with her scrap bucket that I made her, so I can tell you now. Had a few issues making it, and AJ was a great help with certain support when I was worried about it not being good enough for her. But yeah, Mona loved her bag, which was really nice. That was 290 grams out of my stash. And then the Late Summer Dream Tea was 430 grams out. And today I've had the Patreon yarn come in, which is 100 grams. So I'm still pretty good with my ins and outs this month. Not sure how much I'll have left going out this month. Although hopefully I might have a pair of socks, eh? Watch this space. So have a fabulous weekend. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.